Okay, well, I'm back. Another live stream. This is going to be part 2 of my setup of my new. Yeah, I had to make sure everything was working there. Didn't know it was going to be so loud. I had left my volume up from the last time I was previewing a video. Okay, so sorry. Okay, now. Got my new D-Link router sitting over on the table. My previous video I went through, showed it, actually unboxed it, and went through the manual and this quick setup instructions there. And so now I'm going to actually plug it in and see what it does. And I was kind of worried about it. It's 1.2.168.0.1 is its default IP address, and that's fine. I'll use it like that. But my TP-Link is the same, and I was thinking, oh no, it's going to fight with my TP-Link wireless signals just because I turn it on. But now I got to thinking, oh, they have different SSIDs, so they won't fight, so that's good. And the wired connection would fight if it was on the TP-Link router, but it's not. I have 3 in a daisy chain, and it's on the second one, so it won't conflict with that one, and it won't be able to conflict with the TP-Link because it's on another subnet. So I'm good there. I believe. So let me, what I have here is, I'm going to have to go over that way. Let's see. Can I do that? Yeah, I think I can reach far enough with my mic. I was going to try. I could switch to my little wireless mic, but I'm trying to do as less fidgeting around as possible. So that's my power cable I just took off of there. It came with this little flat Ethernet cable, and I'm going from my laptop to the port 1 on the router, so that I can get to the interface, the setup interface, and then that white cable is going out to my other router, my TrendNet router. Which is connected directly to the TP-Link, which is connected directly to my modem, so that will be on the internet. So, let's see. Now, let me get on my. Let's do 2 and desktop for right now. Hopefully, I won't forget. Okay, now you should be able to see. And desktop. Okay, now this is a remote desktop connection over to my Dell 1525 laptop, the one I just told you I was plugged into. And let's get Firefox opened up. And yeah, I'll go ahead and just get that IP address in the browser, and then and we should we're on the internet. We should be, because it has a wireless card in it, so it's going directly through my. It should be, unless it got messed up. Should be going. Huh? Why is there 2 of those desktop sharing things showing up there? I don't know. I don't think it's actually 2 of them. It's showing up on the laptop too, though. I don't know why, but I'm not going to mess with it and mess things up. Yeah, see, it's on the internet. So well, of course it is, because I wouldn't have a remote desktop connection if it wasn't. Okay. 168.0.1, and it won't go there because I don't have the router turned on yet. It's plugged in, but it's not turned on yet. Oh, there's me a problem. Wow, why is it? Oh, because I'm wirelessly connected to my TP-Link, it's going to it. And so, and I already have, when I saw that, I was like, why is it the password already in there? And I was like, oh, because that's the TP-Link. So now, how am I going to get around that? I'll have to. See, my whole thing was I didn't think about that. Well, I didn't even realize until I unboxed it that it had the same IP address, and I didn't do that. I've got it about. I think I got it from the shipment on Monday or something like that, or Tuesday. It's been sitting around here a few days, and I haven't done anything with it yet. And I didn't open it on purpose so that I could get on video the opening in case there was something wrong with it. So you see, the TP-Link's similar. it has, I just left the default SSIDs and then added my name in front of them is what I did. It has the 2.4 gigahertz and the 5 gigahertz. The only difference is well, there's some differences, but one of the main feature differences is that the D-Link has a deal that combines them together, and it's supposed to automatically put each. You give it the same one SSID, and it'll automatically put each type of device to the right frequency that's best for it. But in the reviews that I read on every brand, they had problems with that. So I'll try it and see what it does, but I'll probably end up splitting them out. Actually, I'm just gonna, you know what? I don't want trouble. I'm trying to fix trouble of wireless dropping out. This TP-Link is a good router in every way except for it's not very strong. I'm in here in my room in one end of the house, and then the living room's about in the middle, and it drops to like in half speed, or let's see, yeah, about half speed, just by the time you get into the living room, just from like one bedroom and a few walls in the way. So I mean, it's closets and walls and stuff, air conditioner. So it's quite a bit of junk in the way, I guess. It's kind of the thickest part of the house, I guess. You go out into the garage and you will get a very weak signal, and sometimes it won't work very well. It'll work, but not very well. I have another router out there that was made. It's a ZoneNet router, and I've always used it as a wireless repeater long before I got this TP-Link, and it makes the signal work okay out there. Except for it's been out there quite a few years now, and I think maybe the heat got to it in the summer. It doesn't work very well anymore. It'll be working and then it'll quit working. So I may have baked it. Because, like one year, I was out there working on some stuff, and it was 103, for 2 or 3 days there. And that's about the time I would go in. I try to go out early, but I'd usually stay out there at least an hour until I was baked, and then give up and come in. But I would use it to listen to music over I have some old computers out there, and I'd have them plugged in. That's one cool thing you can do with a repeater. You don't have to run the cable to the router. The wireless will repeat your signal, but also it sends that signal to your Ethernet connection. So I was plugging my old computers up to it, and I'd listen to music online and stuff out there, and look up stuff if I needed to or whatever. But okay, so going off on a long story here. When I type in that address, look what I get. I get my TP-Link. So I can't even go to the other one. You see, I don't know of any way to go to it. Because other than turning off the Wi-Fi. And if I turn off the Wi-Fi, I don't have the remote desktop connection. And so then I can't make my really neat video of showing the screen live and everything. That's why I'm just like, oh, crap. So I can either do what I do, sometimes when I just stuck like that, and I take my other camera and set it on my keyboard tray and aim it at the laptop, and I can turn off the wireless on the laptop, because otherwise I could just take the D-Link and put it in place of the TP-Link, but I couldn't do that on the video. I could just have to turn it on once it was up and running already. So I wanted to show it. I really wanted to. I just wish I have a wired connection. I wish there was a way. I've never got ran into this exact problem before. And I'm thinking, surely there is a way. If I knew how, I bet you there is a way to like tell my browser to use the wired side of the network instead of the wireless. It's default to go. Let's hit the home page again just to get off the router page. So it's defaulted to go to, let's see if there's, Internet Explorer back in the olden days had network connection settings. I don't think Firefox has anything like that. Firefox, by the way, has a new version that is really good. It's really way faster. What have I got on here? 52.4.0. When I first booted up the laptop, I haven't had it on in a few days. And it just happened yesterday or the day before when it came out, the new one, which is, since I'm talking about it, I'll just go to my page here, my live dashboard, and show. This is in the one that I updated, my Fedora 23 system. That's Debian on the laptop. And while I'm here, I'll look. The one that I updated, my Fedora 23 system. Yeah, so that's new. It's working. Okay, about Firefox, you see it all look 57, Firefox 57 Quantum, that's what it's called. It is a heck of a lot faster at bringing stuff in, and it does not use up near as many resources. See, it does split it up. It says web, and Firefox. Those are all Firefox right there. But that's about 300, 250 something. Let's see. 251. Just say 250 megabytes, 220, so that's 450, 60, 70 megabytes, and then another, come on, show it, 44 megabytes. I already forgot what my total was to add it to it in my head. So, not bad at all, and that's on one of the pages I can't run for long at all, the YouTube live stream admin page. I'm going to close it. So I'm really happy about that because that has really been plaguing me badly. I couldn't hardly watch videos. I couldn't do much of anything. So yeah, I'm going to try to make a video here when I get through with the important things. Not tonight, but on the comparing them. So I thought I'd leave this one on. Actually, Debian stays behind. This is the Debian the update notice I got wasn't from Firefox. It was from Debian Package Manager. So you see, it's quite a bit behind. Debian goes for stability, number one, and new stuff, number two. So they stay a little behind. And this is also another version. It's called ESR, and it's kind of it is lightweight. That's why I put Debian on this laptop, because it's a dual core with 3 gig RAM, and my desktop is a quad core with 4 gig RAM. Neither one of them are speed demons, but so I have to think about resource usage. But anyway. See, there's not really any network settings in Firefox, I guess, at all. I don't think I even have another browser on here. So, there is the Crusader. It doesn't have to be anything KDE control module. That's browser behavior, bookmarks. That wasn't what I wanted. I'm going to go ahead and close Firefox and be a little less confusing to me there. And see, okay, that's what I was looking for. What do I have? I have Iceweasel is actually the same. I guess it's really Firefox Iceweasel. It's another mix of Firefox. But if you click on either one of those, you get the same thing. Web behavior. Oh, okay. That didn't say browser. Conqueror. That is the default browser for KDE, and I've never used it because it doesn't. Tried it out, and it wouldn't, work with anything on the web. It looked like it was really going to be hard to get it to, play videos and do anything like that. It is useful sometimes I used to use it sometimes for pages saved on your hard drive that maybe didn't work. Might accidentally work better in here. I'm trying to see. View profiles. I don't know what that is. Web browsing. Oh, no, I don't want that. I don't know what that is. What I was thinking, if I can spell, network settings of some sort. I really don't want to mess up the network settings in this laptop, though. And that's just shares, Samba shares, network shares, and stuff. So it would be network settings. And this is KDE that and the only reason I'm using it is because it was the only one that I could get to work on this domain system with the remote desktop. So that's I'm not actually used to KDE at all. I'm getting a little more used to it, but everything's different. I'll use my desktop. Some of the apps that I use, I actually prefer. I like a lot of the KDE apps. I just KRDC is what I'm using to get my remote desktop working. Actually KRFB is the one I'm using. That's the one I use to turn it on and off and everything. KRDC, I think, is the KDE viewer network interfaces. That's the one I saw a minute ago. That's still not the same thing, but yeah, see the wireless LAN. That's 0.107, and the wired is 127.0.0.1 because it doesn't have any, that router's not on. Let's leave that up for now. I don't think it will help me, but who knows? Let's see. Okay, now I think I need Firefox though, because Conqueror may not have I think you have to have Java or something that there's a Java for Linux, open source Java player or whatever app for Linux that is, I guess I think it's in Firefox by default. I'm not sure. I mean, in Domain by default. Well, I don't know about Domain. I haven't been running in my lately. Used to, you had to go ahead and install Java or the Java open source version of it in order to play any kind of Java applets, but I haven't been having anything telling me they're not working. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to get my little camera and get it ready so that if I can't make it work, I can still show, because I don't need that for anything else, this one for anything else right now anyway. Let me go ahead and switch to the other mic so that when I'm moving around, you'll be able to hear me still. Plus the mic stand may be in the way to where I can't do anything any different than that anyway. Okay, let's see. Okay. My power. I leave my power. I've said that. I guess I say that every time. But my power supply, keep it plugged in while I'm doing stuff like this. Because, and see, you can't read it or anything. I can only just kind of give a little visual representation of what's going on. Yeah, let me see if I can do that with the mic out here where I want it. Oh yeah, I think I can. Yeah, leave it in its right place for me to be able to talk on it, and then there. There. For once I had a thought to use the mute button while I'm coughing. Okay, so now we're back on the good mic, and I'm aiming at that. Now, we want one in desktop for right now, I guess. Yeah. Now, I've got the camera, and I've got what I'm doing over here on the desktop, too. So, that camera, right. Okay, what I had originally planned was having, Yeah, I want to plug it up first. Okay, we're going to plug it up, and then I'll switch back. Okay, let me go ahead and plug it up. Got to make sure I'm showing what I think I'm showing. Okay, it's got a big orange light. Oh yeah, I went through the manual of what all the lights mean earlier, so yeah, okay, they said in the instructions, if the lights don't come on, then press the power button, but the power button is obviously already on, so I won't do that. And oh yeah, and I guess you could see that. It's got an now it's got an Ethernet address, 192.168.0.110. Aha, okay. Now still, my admin said, but the wireless LAN is on a different router with the same. See, this is what I'm saying. The wireless LAN, well, that doesn't make it where you can't see it. 192.168.0.107. That's coming from the TP-Link. You can see right there, hardware address. The MAC addresses are different. And then 0.110 that came up. Oh, now the white light's on the. That's the light that tells you it's working right. So, well, you know, it's kind of cool looking in a way. You know, the normal thing with the little bitty lights and everything. You definitely could look at it from a long ways away and tell that it's what's happening with it, the status of it, and that might be good. Now, the lights bother me a lot, especially when I'm trying to go to sleep at night. This is my room, my bedroom, so I put stuff up in front of them to block them from shining all over the whole room. You know, all right, with 3 of them, imagine. So. So that's all up and good. Now, how am I going to get into that interface without killing the wireless? Let's see if we can do that. 192.168. That was good to have that up. Okay. We don't need to sit and look at the router anymore, but yeah, see, there's the white light. You can see that. I guess you know, if you might have noticed even that it changed colors when because you're looking at the video and I was looking at the screen actually when that all happened. Let me make sure that cable. Make sure the cable was in good. That one doesn't have a clip on it, that white one. And that should have us on the internet through that router. And actually, you know what? Every time I've done this recently, messing around with that Linksys, when I plugged in the wired, it actually took over the internet connection and sent it to the wired in here in this domain system. So I may not have a problem after all. Oh, I meant to switch. I'm just going to go to straight desktop now until well, let's go ahead and go to, oh, I'm on desktop and cam 2. I want desktop and cam 1. That'll be okay, I think. Yes? Yeah. So that, I mean, I actually don't need to do that unless I can get to it, though. So let's go to the desktop screencast. Okay, now, 0.1. Nope, went to the TP-Link. Don't want that. So half the time when you hit cancel on a login and a deal like that, it just keeps coming back up. So I'll just go ahead and do it now. I don't know, that could be what was that IP address? I know this 110. Now this will not work, but I have to try it because it doesn't. If it did work, that's bad. Yeah, not able to connect. If it was, that would mean remote access was enabled, and you wouldn't want that. Okay, so what I'll do then is I'm going to switch to the one desktop. Okay, so now you can see the laptop in the camera, get the general idea, and because I'm going to lose my remote desktop connection just as soon as I hit this, and I'm going to have to get that other keyboard. Well, I'm mostly going to use a router. Let's see, what will I need to do? Normally I put my keyboard up here when I have to do that. My wireless keyboard. I still can control the laptop from over here. Leave everything like it is so I won't get all confused and mess things up. Okay, so what I can do, I'll leave it like that, and then if I disconnect the Wi-Fi, that's the audio. Disconnect the Wi-Fi. Okay. Deactivated. So now when I click on anything in here, what? Oh. It's still working. Well, is it connected or not? Oh, it's connected. It must have automatically connected again. Disconnect. I might have to use that switch on the computer. I don't like doing that. I never can remember which one is which. See, there's one. Oh, available D-Link 1013C. Oh, I didn't think about that. Let's do that. It's, oh, because it's bridged, well, not bridged, but yeah. So let's try connecting to that, because I have my little card of the default password. I guess basically it comes set up, but then you can set it up the way you want to. Oh, it did disconnect. Okay, now, yeah, now I'm disconnected. Oh, and the TP-Link's disconnected. Yeah, if I was looking at the, you probably like, hey, you're disconnected. So I finally looked over at the laptop. Oh, okay. Now, but what I can do is grab my wireless router, wireless mouse, and yeah, and I'll hit connect to the D-Link. That's now. Okay, now that said wired connection activated. Wired. What about the? Okay. Now, I don't know. I thought I was clicking on the wireless. Okay, now this is the wireless. Connect. What's the password? Now, okay, I've got it on my little card. Now let's see if I can type it. Oh, I got to type it up here on the wireless keyboard, because I'm not connected to the I'm not connected to the remote desktop anymore. I probably have to disconnect it and reconnect it. Let's go ahead and do a disconnect, because usually that's what happens when you lose connection. Okay, camera 1. Now you can get a better idea of what it is I'm talking about. It's a little bigger. And I could probably have to look at this with a magnifying glass and then type it with one hand, I guess. Okay, it connected. So it comes set up by default. I did not know that. That's kind of cool for anybody that needed really. That's a cool feature. If you want to leave it like that, you can. or what's its IP address? Let's see. That little app over there will tell me that I have running already. I already forgot. I might be able to go to, let's see, the wireless is, I need to go to the wireless, yeah. So now it's 180. Okay. That's a big one, big number. Wireless LAN 180, 0.180. So 180. See if it'll work. Did not connect. It says 180. Did I type it wrong? Don't think so. 0.180. Oh, probably gonna have to redo, close and open back up the how am I gonna do that? Let's see. I need to refresh this app. That's what I need to do. This because it's looking for. Yeah, it doesn't have the. It's got a 127 address, so it's all wrong. I do not understand why. Oh, okay. Well, now when I click on one of those icons, I get the KRFB. If you just hit the X on KRFB, it doesn't close. You got to exit it. Quit. Okay. Okay, now I have two of those same icons, but for two different apps. All right. KRFB. Now enable desktop sharing, and yeah, it says a little. It said regenerates that password every time, but I'm not using that. So, and you'd have to be on my local network for you to use it. And besides that, it regenerates every time. So, but for some reason, it won't save my it won't save my unattended password. That's why I like to do it that way, because it's a pain to have to always okay, now let's see if 180 will get me anywhere. Let's go back to that other screen. Oh, I am on the other screen. Okay, well maybe that'll help. Oh, it's the KRFB app. I need to see what IP it's showing. Yeah, now it's 180. Okay, so I fixed that. Should be able to get back. Still not answering. Sometimes you gotta close your app, all your apps, and open them back up. I'll try that. Oh, you know what? My problem then is this machine doesn't have wireless, so it's still using. It's looking for 180 on the TP-Link. So I would have to forward all the way through 2 routers to make that work. So quit playing with that. Okay, so I'm going to quit that app so that it will not be confusing me again here later. Okay. So, but now that I'm no longer on the TP-Link in any way, am I on the right? I guess you're going to have to be getting a blurry view from the, yeah, blurry view from the, I'll leave it like that now, so I can see what I'm showing. So my Ethernet address is 192.168.0.110. My wireless LAN is 192.168.0.180. So now I am on the new router. Now all I got to do is hit enter on the right keyboard. And it should load up. There we go. That's what we're looking for. But I can't get the not without a whole lot of work and taking a lot of the the remote desktop to work so I can show you the desktop screencast. That's a bummer, but okay. So it's asking me. Okay, it says Internet DIR-869 Wi-Fi client. Wizard will guide you through that. That's the model number of the D-Link. It's a DIR-869. The wizard will guide you through the setup. Go ahead and check my. Been around in circles so much. Let me make sure my stream's still working. And all that good stuff. So, all that good stuff. So, okay, I was waiting to hear myself say the last thing I said there. Okay, so that wizard, let's see, install your device, configure your network settings, and set up your router password. Okay. Let's see. I'm sure I always change my, the default passwords and stuff, just like they ask you to do. Yeah, this will be okay. I keep thinking, should I move keyboards around before I start this? But I think I'll be all right. Mostly going to be using the mouse, but I probably will have to have a new sticky note. Yeah, that's what I need. Okay, D-Link. Don't have much space to write. That's the thing. Okay. D-Link router, and there's the DIR-869. The model number. Okay, now I'll have to write this stuff down. I won't remember it long enough. Okay, so it has a default setting so that you can get into it, but then it runs you through this setup, which is good. 2.4 gigahertz. Okay, well, it's blurry. You probably can't read it, but it has a default password in there. Hopefully you can't read it. Even I won't be using it, but the problem is when I put my new one in, let's go ahead and get on some other screen so that I won't be showing you that. Yeah, that's a bit tricky now, isn't it? So, because if I show you the laptop, then you'll see what I'm trying to type, what all I'm doing here. So, this was the part I really thought I would just do. But now that I'm here, I want to go ahead and get it done, So, yeah, well, I can do some moving around with keyboards because I'm not going to be making the video horrible now, so it'll be better. I don't drop everything. If I do it, I remember I've done it before. If I do it just right, I can actually get both keyboards on here to where I can type on the wireless keyboard. Oh, crap. Dang, keyboard has... Okay, where's the back button? The... keyboard has the enter button on the far right bottom side, and I hit enter when I picked it up. There we go. Now I needed to re-aim that. See, I changed it all up by I just remembered something. Well, on the other screens I might try to remember to fix it. I can stop that from washing out like that by changing the settings. Yeah, I wasn't going to be able to type the way it was set up. Now I think I can type. That's so washed out, I guess I don't have to worry about that so much. I mean, it might be a little more readable. Well, it might be. Who knows? Yeah. If I'm going to actually type my real password in here, let's get off of it. Okay, so the only other thing I can show you is Chem2. that's the router itself. So enjoy. Isn't it pretty? Okay. I'm going to change my 2.4 network name. Yeah, I think I will do it. I read things better when they start out with a capital letter. Oh, let's see. I gotta make sure I know which one. Oh, I see. Yeah. DonsDeals. I'm gonna make them separate. 2.4 gigahertz. It's funny, the proper way to write gigahertz is with a big G and a big H. I generally always write it with and a little Z. But that looks so weird to me. But that's the way even spell checkers will tell you it's supposed to be. It's even that widely known. So D-Link 2.4 gigahertz. Guess I'll do it right. And then I'll just copy. Oops. I'll copy that part. Of course, you can't see none of this, but 5 gigahertz. Yeah. I'm going to do it like that. Well, I mean, they do have to have their own separate names. Now, those default passwords. Okay. Okay, now those could be the same, and they are by default. Okay. I got to write down SSID. Okay. DonsDeals. Okay, and then DonsDeals. When I checked before I started this, nobody was seemed to be using any internet. And, hopefully, I'm not messing them up with this Wi-Fi. No, I decided I wasn't. Yeah, because they would have to. It doesn't. Yeah. Okay, so they won't be fighting. Well, I don't think so. They're on separate SSID, so I don't think they'll be fighting each other. Okay, and so I'm glad I'm doing this before I plug it in, though, so I'd be off the internet this whole time. Everybody would be. That's why I was doing it this way. Now then, I gotta figure me out a new password. Okay. Okay, now gotta. Well, I guess I'll do that when I get to it. I put D-link on my name of the router, but it's actually not a dash. It's not the way they did it anyway. Oh, it is a dash, and it's on the top of the router with a dash. I thought it was. They just didn't do that in their wireless setup. I like to write things down the way they are. It's a lot less confusing to me later. The way that they put it on the the routers and stuff. Okay, now. Oh, I didn't type it in yet. Oh, well, it's good that it's showing actually, so I know I'm getting it right. Good for me anyway. That's always hard when they don't show it. Okay, now, the next one is the device admin password. And we got to do that. All right, now let's see if I can get that in there. They don't have you type it in twice. Okay, now. I'm still working on it. Can't seem to get anything right here. Keep hitting the wrong keys. Okay, now. Oh no, this is really boring crap. Okay, so go to the next thing. Doesn't seem like it's going anywhere though. I clicked next and it didn't next. Maybe it's done, no? Doesn't say, let's see. Below is a summary of your security and device password settings. Please make a note of these and click next. Now I made my note. Click next and it does nothing. I wonder if it's up. Let's see what's going on with the IP addresses. They haven't changed or anything. Glad I accidentally found that little app that tells you your IP address is live. That's pretty cool. I'm afraid it's going to mess up the setup if I just close it or anything. Can't show you because then I'll be showing you. This is a little screen that shows you the passwords you just typed in. So I was looking at that. I got sidetracked. I was looking at the manual that I have sitting there. I was like, oh, I think it's upside down to you. Sometimes I think things are upside down. One time I thought things were upside down and I fixed it, and what I did is turn it upside down. It was already okay. on one of the videos I noticed recently. That's the quick install guide. It's all right. I went through it before. I actually spent an hour going through everything before I started this. Well, now what am I going to do? Dang it. I'm afraid it won't. Well, I think my settings are already saved. Let me get the guide out and look. Maybe it'll tell me what I'm going to do, what I should be doing. Okay. Can't show it. Well, I could show it with that. I might do that in a second. Let me find the right page. I can get my endoscope out and show it like I did earlier. Probably have to get it out just to read it. Let's see. Oh yeah, all the connecting, configuration. Let's see. I guess I'll try that. Move my keyboard. I've got to be careful. I'll end up. Hit enter. Doesn't make any difference. I'm not going to force close it or anything. I can hit back. But clicking next does nothing. Okay, so I'll get my little endoscope and see if I can get over here and show this stuff. Endoscope. I don't know if I can do it well. I'm going to try and just hold it instead of spending 5 minutes hooking it all up. Okay, now I had the endoscope. Oh, that's not the endoscope. I'm going to say now I had the endoscope all plugged in this whole time just in case I needed it. Okay, so select next and continue. Okay, now this is the protect your internet. I couldn't read it. I could have picked up my magnifying glass, but I just thought, well, I wanted to show it anyway. So yeah, okay, this is all that stuff that I didn't have to do. Okay, now, and this is I must have passed it up. Let's see, troubleshooting. I mean, I'm not having trouble though, I don't think. I mean, my connection's been fine. Okay, how do I connect the wireless devices? Setting. I guess the best thing to do is, yeah, okay. Let me get back on another page here. If I can find it. I was trying to find the last page of the what I just went through. I didn't see it. Continue with the setup wizard. Oh, okay. So this is not. It doesn't. I couldn't remember. It doesn't have instructions for the setup wizard in here. So let me go back to. Have to go back to just the router because I still got my passwords on the screen. Is the thing. Within that screen, I accidentally hit enter on the keyboard. When I move it around, it doesn't do anything. The whole screen is just not doing anything. Except for it'll go back. It won't go forward, though. So, I think the best bet is to just hit reload on this page. And went back to the beginning of the wizard. So I don't think it's saved my settings. Now I closed it. I hit the X to close it. If I have to do it again, I won't do it on camera. I think it's, well, of course it was already set up and working, but I don't know if it, let's see if it saved my, sorry. I guess there's something in the air tonight. I opened up the windows to keep from being overheated too bad in here, and it's up to 80 degrees right now too with the window. I had it. Actually, it was warm enough to have the air conditioner on today all day. But in the evening, a lot of times it won't come on anymore, and it gets hot in this room. I'm getting a cough drop. Okay. So when I hit the X to close that wizard because it wouldn't go to the next, went back to internet connected. There's a check mark there. And the model number, connected clients. I don't know what that means. Never seen this interface before. MAC address connected. IP address 10.105, so that's the TrendNet router that it's getting its internet connection from. And default gateway 10.1, that's the TrendNet. Primary DNS server 10.1. Of course, when I plug it into my router, my modem, it'll show. It'll be different. And the IP addresses are still the same. So let's say go to settings. That's the only other option on here. Well, release IP address, but I wouldn't want to do that. Okay, internet. Use this section to configure your internet connection type. Several connection types. I don't think it's set up, at least not to my settings. I'm just going to go through it one page at a time. And it can types to choose from static, IP, DHCP, PPOE, so on and so on. So on dynamic, there's some advanced settings. It just says IPv6. It doesn't say anything about IPv4, but that's the kind of addresses I have. Maybe that is the IPv6 section. Yeah. And it says my internet connection is local connectivity only. I think I'm going to put it on auto detection. That's usually what all the rest of them are on that have IPv6. And hit save. It says being saved. I think it's it's rebooting the router. It turned orange. So every time you hit save, it's going to do that. You need an apply button like the DDWRT has. You can hit apply on every screen and then hit reboot. I don't want to reboot every time I change something. Of course, maybe if I move out of the screen and move back, it won't lose them. Maybe it'll keep them. So when you hit save, it reboots the router. It's try to show both of them there. You can't really tell that it's orange. It doesn't look like in the camera. It's so the whole thing is so orange. I lifted it up. Man, that camera's behind. I don't know if you can really see. It's really, I can see it really good from this angle, but I can just barely reach it. I'm having to stretch my neck to get back to the microphone. Okay, it hasn't finished yet. It says the settings have been saved, but the white light's not back on yet. I might have messed it up. Might have kicked it off the internet. It did take a while the first time when I plugged it in to get to the white light. But I don't know. I guess I'm playing with these settings might not be such a good idea until I learn a little more. I had it working, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I was going to click on the advanced settings, but I'm not even going to do that now. I might have to go back to get it only from the local. I'm going to kind of go into the other settings just to see. Oh, okay. Wizard. Yeah, I didn't even bother. It just took me to that somehow. I don't even remember how I got there. I clicked on something. Wizard, Internet, Wireless Network. Features, QoS, Quality of Service, Firewall, Port Forwarding, Website Filter, Static Route. Dynamic DNS, Quick VPN. I've never. That might be kind of neat. I've never. I've fiddled around with VPN settings and stuff, software a little bit over the years in Linux, and it's kind of complicated to set up. But if you're, Well, and there's VPN settings in some of the routers I have, and I didn't want to mess things up though, so I didn't fool with that a lot. But yeah, if it'll do it, kind of set it up for you easily, it might be worth using. Time schedule, system log, system admin upgrade statistics. That orange light is still orange. I got a feeling I jacked it up. What was it on? Local connectivity only. Well, that was what it was on. I think that that might have messed things up. So let's go back. I'm going to reboot it again because it's just staying orange. See if the white light comes back on. So maybe you don't want to play with those settings till you learn a little more. I was thinking that IPv6 and 4 were both turned on to automatic in my TP-Link, at least. Actually, I thought it was that way by default in the DDWRT software that I put on the Linksys. So we'll see what happens here. It can't hurt to just leave it as it was at the beginning there. Okay, let's go back to IPv4. It should be on. Well, let's see what it's on. I'm not going to say what it should be on. I don't know. Dynamic, yeah. Okay. But we don't. Now, since that rebooted it twice, I want to see what my let's look at statistics. I won't stay still. I want to see you know, sensitive information. I want to see my my IP address and all that stuff. It's still orange over there because that's just, you know, data sent and received. Go to the system log. That should just be like a Well, I won't bother with that right now. That could be good though. You have it email me when it doesn't have either one of them enabled. I don't want to do anything that'll make this thing work too hard and not run well. Okay, it's in settings, so yeah, I guess that's where I would look. Let's go back to the home first though. And I think, yeah, that's just the basic IP addresses, but it doesn't have, doesn't tell me whether or not the stuff I set is saved or not. I think I'm probably going to need to click. That's where I was. I was in internet settings. Now I'm going to go to wireless, but I'm going to get off of the. I don't want to show you that screen because I think it might show my password I just made. I want to see if it's there, so even if it doesn't show it right away. No, my work did not get saved. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I remember on some router, I didn't think it was this one, but I remember on some brand of router on the reviews they said they could not get the web interface to save the settings, and they had to go do it with the phone app, and it was really a pain. I hope this is not my problem here. Well, I think I'll try it one more time. I have it all figured out and everything. That aggravates me though. You know what? That 2.4 gigahertz might be giving me trouble. Could have been, you know, maybe the system can't handle the dot. As a matter of fact, maybe it can't even handle capital letters. They're not capital in here. Well, yes, they are. The D-Link so-and-so 5 gigahertz is capital. So I'll do 2, instead of a 0.4 gigahertz, I'll put, I will put, dash gigahertz. Okay, and do it all again. Public status. Yeah, you can set up as public. Now when I hit save, it's going to reboot it, but I'm just going to do that. Wi-Fi protected setup. WPS-BC status enabled. That's where you press that button on the back. Yeah, you have to. I was gonna say, yeah, nobody can do that unless I press that button on the back. I think I was on that. If you turn on the wrong thing, it will just automatically connect to anybody that tried to connect to it. And I didn't know that for a long time. I found out when my neighbor, I saw okay, now the white light's on. There we go. It's already back on. So that fixed that part of it. The whole it's trying to connect back to my TP-Link. Let's see, how do I want it? The laptop is trying to connect. You can't see it, but the laptop is bringing up asking for the TP-Link password. Let's go ahead and connect to the one I'm working on here. I'll say OK to the settings. Still can't show you the screen at all until I get off of that one with my password on it. Wireless. I'll go to network. Maybe it'll have like the basic information without. Huh? Okay. I'll tell you what I was laughing at here in a second. Okay. We're going to see them both. Oh, I think that, yeah, I don't see the 2.5 gigahertz in the list of available connections. I can show you that now. Wish I could show this on the desktop video. It would be so much better. But now I have my DonsDeals 2.4 gigahertz or 2-4 gigahertz. Because I thought the dot might have been what screwed it up. Evidently it was, I guess. That happens sometimes in it was a common thing with the older Linux web servers and stuff. That's kind of what this is. It's a little web server that you don't, well, I mean, you can allow it to be accessed on the web if you want, but I don't ever do that. I only keep it local admin. It's an administration web server for the router. So anyway, it's not connected to any wireless right now, so let's try connecting. To it. Let's see. What is that asking for? Okay. Oops. Okay, so now I guess I've got the password in there right now. It asked me twice. It asked me in 2 screens. Okay, now this network page, use this section to configure the network settings for your device. You can enter a name for the device, in the management link field and use the link to access the UI in the web browser. Recommend to change the management link if there are more than one D-Link devices within the network. Okay. Let me try going to the internet here just to make sure it's all hooked up. I believe it's going to be. Yeah. Always make sure, I always use Google and my start page, but the start page sometimes, a lot of it will come in from the cache when you're not even connected to the internet. Oh, it logged itself out while I was over there fiddling around with that. Let's see. It asked me for the admin password, but I can type that because it won't show up. You know what? I haven't changed that yet. Maybe I typed it wrong. Okay, that means I need my default password that they gave me, I guess. And I guess I haven't changed it yet. Because it didn't save a while ago. I did change it, but it didn't save. This card, it's unless you've got a magnifying glass with you or you can see like Superman, it's useless. Dang it, I laid it on the keyboard. This keyboard is so easy to type on. I mean, the keys, they don't. Bang, microphone. What? I'm going to hit a reload on this page and see if it probably locked me out after so many tries. Okay, it's not taking the default password, and unless I messed up typing my one I made, maybe I did. Let me hit a reload again. Sometimes that helps you from not having that you can't try anymore problem. Let me see if now I know that this wireless keyboard right now doesn't have where is it? Num lock turned on, or does it? Let's try that. It doesn't have a light to tell you. That did not help. No, what's wrong here? I'll probably end up having to do a reset. This is getting aggravating. I'm going to try to go back to the very beginning. I don't know. I mean, they usually always do log you out after a little while. But I don't understand. Okay, let's hit that num lock again. I don't know what's going on here unless I accidentally gave it a different password than I thought I did. You have to hit enter. You don't have any other options. Sometimes, you know, if you hit enter, it jacks things up in some of these things, and you have to click the OK button or whatever. I'm looking at it with a magnifying glass and being as careful as I can. Okay, it's not working. I may have to do a hard reset and lose all my work I just did on it with my wireless passwords and everything. It's working, but it's I mean, I just got on the internet and everything, but if I can't log into it, that's no good whatsoever. Oh. Oh. That was I kept typing in the default Wi-Fi password. The doggone username is admin, and the default password for the router when you haven't changed the password is blank. I just was not paying enough attention to the information on the page. Well, that's good. So there you go. If you run into this same problem I did, just read your little password card a little better and go just give yourself the password you wanted to have right away. Well, I mean, that wizard didn't work, so I need to go into the settings. I think if I go to network settings, I probably have to click off of here again just to... I could give it a name, but I won't do that. DNS relay. If you enabled remote management, there's a funny little name that it's given by default. And let's see, use this section to configure where network settings of your device. You can enter a name for the device in the management link field and use the link to access the web UI and a web browser. Recommended to change the management link if there are more than one D-Link device within the network. Yeah. Of course, if you know the IP address of your router, that you can get there that way. I would never remember dinkrouter.local. That's the default. I guess I'm going to management system admin. I'm trying to see where you would change the password. Yeah, admin password. Enable graphic authentication captcha. No, I wouldn't want that. I'd never get logged in. Okay, now let me get off of there so that I can type in there without showing you what I'm typing. Oh, when I hit save, it's going to reboot. So better get it right, or I will be locked out of it. Man, I don't like that, having to reboot it every single time you make a change. Well, at least this, when you're closer, you can tell what the light's doing. It's white right now. Maybe it didn't reboot this time. It didn't take as long. It didn't have a 30-something second countdown. And the light, I didn't look at it right away, but the light never was yellow. I never caught it being orange. I guess we'll find out in the video. There's another tab in there called System. Let's see. Okay. This could be useful. There's a tab within the, I'm in management. Let's see, where am I? I think I'm in management, system admin, and then I was on admin. That's where you change the password. Anyway, I clicked on the system tab. Yeah, admin. I was in admin, now I'm in system. There was a system tab, now it's not there because I'm in there. Gets a little funky there. Okay, save settings to local hard drive. Load settings from local hard drive. Restore the factory defaults. Okay. Reboot the device. Auto reboot never. Oh, it's got an auto reboot. That's actually something you. Well, it would be handy to keep you from the cache getting full and all that. But it could be very unhandy if you're in the middle of a download that's important or something. So I don't know about setting that. But I'm going to hit save my settings, and I will rename it later. Or maybe I better rename it now. Let's get in I'll forget. I won't know what router it was. Okay. I think since I have, D-Link settings, 11, 16, 17. Yeah, there we go. DonsDeals settings 11, 7, 16. Config bin. That other one, NVRAM back, that is from the WGRT, I believe. Yeah, it would have been because I haven't hooked up the TP-Link to it. Why isn't that over there in my... I'm going to move that over there. It's already open over there in my links folder. I don't know why it's there like that. Might have been a newer backup from the... I thought the one I did, 11.5.17. That was a while back. I must have just never moved it. Let's make me a router folder, D-Link router. Well, I don't have another D-Link if I decide to rename it later to the model. I can't remember the model number. So we'll leave that like that. Okay, so I saved the settings. Now I could restore them. I needed to auto reboot. Features, firewall. Now I won't go through every little thing because you can't see what I'm showing. But at least kind of went through the. It's also almost 9 o'clock. I don't really want to stay up real late. Okay. So the home page. There's the home page. Once I get it hooked up and it's my main router, then I can go through this, and show it really good. As long as I don't change any settings and kill my video. Yeah, as long as it's... Oh, well, yeah, okay. So I could forward the ports. When you're wanting to forward... I could forward a port to... Yeah, I'd have to forward a remote desktop port to... right now I have it going to other things, but I could change it, go to the... actually, I wouldn't have to change it in TP-Link. I would change it in the D-Link to, instead of going where it's going, go to this one. Then I could do remote desktop, but it is a pain, and I have things set up for quick work when I need to get some work done. So I'll see. I don't think I want to change all that just to, I could just show it once I get it hooked up. I'll think about it. I'm getting tired. I'm going to quit anyway. Go ahead and kind of end up this video, and then it'll be another day when I get back on here. But so I'll kind of give a quick rundown. This is the D-Link DIR-869. I had a feeling I shouldn't close my window. I want to rename that while I'm at it here. Go ahead and do that. There it is. Maybe I didn't. Whoa. I accidentally moved my mouse in a way I didn't mean to. There we go. D-Link DIR-869 router info. Oh, and it's got some extra returns in there. Me and this keyboard and mouse do not get along. They do not work like my good old-fashioned HP wired keyboard. I can't see. I am looking way at a weird angle at the keyboard, so I mean at the laptop screen to do this. Okay, now I thought I had closed that. Maybe I didn't close it a while ago because it opened up super fast. Okay, so you know, it's working. It's got me on the internet. Let's see if that's still working. After I did all my savings and changes, I think what I want to do is, yeah, okay, so I'm still on the internet through, and of course I'm not connected directly to the modem. I'm connected through two more routers actually to get there. That's working. Of course, this default gateway and all that. Oh, it reloaded automatically. Oh, it logged me out. Okay, well, I was just fixing to test that. I guess I'm going to test it right now. It logs you out too darn fast. If you're sitting there working on it, it shouldn't log you out. Well, that time it asked me if I want to save it. I think I'll say no right now. I think, especially until I know that works. Not now. I might, well, I don't think I want to do it on the laptop. So anyway, yeah, don't log me out like that. I wonder if you can change that. Go to settings. I won't go to any sub-menus right now. Then you got the wizard, internet, wireless, network. Then you got features, QoS, firewall, port forwarding. I'll have to set all that stuff up to make my router, my server be online and all that stuff. Everything will have to be changed and set up. And that's why I'd kind of like to go through some of that stuff. A lot of that I can show, I think, without, well, some of it I don't want to show on the video, but some of the stuff you don't want to show the world, let them into your network, show them how easy ways to get into your network, make it easier for them to get in there. I mean the local ports and all that, they're standard ports, but telling everybody what ports go where in your router, wouldn't be the best thing. So I don't know, we'll see. Let's see, website filter. Yeah, website filter. Oh, okay. Yeah, like you could block websites and stuff. Firewall. I'll go into there later. But it should be. Actually, let's go in there now. Okay. Yeah, DMZ's not on. There's several things that are not turned on. Well, what is turned on? Let's see. Your router's high performance firewall feature continuously monitors advanced settings. So let's look on, I'll click on the IPv4. There's separate. Turn it off. Okay, no, I wouldn't want to do that. Oh, these are filters. Like you want to allow. Let's try to read this. The IPv4 rule section and advanced feature used to deny or allow traffic from passing through. So you could, that would be good. It's a lot of work, but that would be good if you had that set up. Could be some added security, and you're going to have to start. Everybody's going to have to start learning how to do this in IPv6 as well, because it's out there and it's being used, and it's actually can be a backdoor into your router if it's not set right. So ever since they started using it, by the way, but I'm not going to change anything in there. Let's see, where was that firewall? I guess I'm just going to use the drop down to go back to the. I'm not quite sure how to get back out of where I was into the beginning of it. What I don't, okay, your router's high performance firewall features continually monitors internet traffic, protecting your network and connected devices from malicious internet attacks. Well, the thing is there's nothing in there that looks like it's turned on by default. Everything says disabled. DMZ. Well, I don't want a DMZ. Okay, enable SPI, IPv4. I forgot what that is. I know these things and I forget them in a day or two. I have to go back and look again. I wish it had the instructions on the side of what each thing's mean, like all the other routers do. Any spoofing checking, that could be good. It might make it harder for you to surf, though. Simple IPv6 security and IPv6 ingress filtering. Well, I'm wondering if that's just some basic stuff on the front. Okay, now advanced settings. Okay. Application gateway ALG configuration. Okay. All this stuff is enabled by default. PPPT, IPsec VPN, RTSP, and SIP. SIP is for internet telephoning. You would want that on. You probably would if you want to use Skype or anything. Well, I don't know if Skype uses any SIP stuff. I can't remember, but some of the video chat apps might not work if you turned it off. So, or if you're using actual SIP, if you knew how to set all that up, you probably know more about how to set this. Well, of course, if you don't have a D-Link, you might not. But anyway, just like me, you get it. You got to learn about it first if your first time to use one. But anyway, yeah, I'm not going to go through and change anything else. It seems to be working okay. It's kind of weird to me that make those advanced things go away. It's kind of weird to me that it's not evident to me that like the basic firewall settings, it's not showing them. There's a lot of things that it doesn't show that they're on or off, the normal firewall stuff, really. It doesn't tell you everything. It has things, some special things, but it doesn't tell you the normal stuff. Okay, so, yeah, leave that as it is. Time and schedule, system log, whoops. Okay, let's look at the upgrade page just for the fun of it. Upgrade. Your router can automatically detect firmware updates, but requires your authorization to install them. It is also possible to check for new firmware manually upgrade firmware from a local file. Yeah, check for new firmware. Okay. Upgrade firmware. So that would be what you're going to do if you're going to put on, you download it and you're going to install it, or if you're going to do DDWRT or the Open WRT, the mother, father, daddy, whatever, DDWRT. I'm not going to do that right now. I'll do it next time when I get it to where it can actually be seen what's going on, but check for new firmware. And I don't want to get into something else that I could have hang up on me. So somewhere in those fancy settings, I wonder, I'll go to my own website there. Of course, that could be going through on the local network. It's actually on this same router. It went really fast. That's probably because it's on the same router. But that's why I don't usually go straight to that. Should play stuff. Yeah, that part of my website is you have 2 albums on there that are free to download if you're interested in checking them out. DonsSongs.com. Hit the home button again. Okay, so I got it working. I've got my passwords in there now, and they work. So I don't know about that wizard. Oh yeah, I didn't upgrade to the newer version of Firefox, by the way. This is the older version. Actually, this might be good. I can use it. I was thinking, well, how am I going to show the newer version of Firefox? Oh, if I click on that, it'll want to upgrade it, I think. Or did I already do that and it didn't do it? Yeah, I won't. Yeah, I'm getting off. I'm supposed to be exiting the video here. Okay, anyway, Firefox I'll deal with later. This is more important, get all this going. Maybe a few days or who knows, week. Okay, so go back to home. So that's the D-Link. Got it up and going. the basics up and going. But what I have to do is go back, and I kind of wanted to get it all pre-set up before I removed my TP-Link and put it in place of it, because then my server won't be down for so long. But I think it's going to be, it may be kind of hard to, it's probably going to be too hard for me to set up. Yeah, it will be, because there's two things. Number one, if I go ahead and say right now my server's on the TrendNet, and so it goes, you know, TP-Link is forwarded to the TrendNet, then the TrendNet port forwards over to the server. And now if I set this one up that way, I'll have to do the same thing. But if I may go ahead and plug, and the reason I'm doing that is because when I plug, there's something weird about the Ethernet, onboard Ethernet chip on that IBM that I turned into my server. It will not work on the TP-Link. Either that or something weird about the TP-Link. The forwarding works fine going to another router, but doesn't work going to that. And I finally decided, I think I figured it out, because I put in, at one point I put in two Ethernet cards in it, and I tried to set it up as a network appliance as well as a server. But every time I rebooted, it would default back to that onboard chip, and then it wouldn't, nothing, it wouldn't be connecting. It wouldn't talk to the TP-Link router. That's what I finally figured out. Okay, so the D-Link, now if it talked to the D-Link, I could, go back, I could plug it into the D-Link. Now, whether I'd want to go back to all that other business with the extra cards and stuff, I don't know. I'm thinking more and more about doing something like that, but then if that machine's not running, nobody's on the internet, wired-wise anyway. Well, no, they wouldn't be on the internet, period, because it's all going modem to the server to the routers. If the server's not running for any reason, I don't know. That's kind of one of the main other reason why I never did that. I kind of would like to do that, because it will, if your server is being your internet appliance, basically like a little, however many, well, it's a router, however many plus a server, however many Ethernet cards you can get in it. That's how many ports that router would have, and it's going to, like I say, I'm running Fedora server on it, so every time Fedora comes up with an update for that firewall, it's getting an update, and then everything else in there, all the security is going to be more up to date than any router you could possibly have. That's one thing why I'd like to do that. But also, I might even use another machine, a newer machine for my server. I've been thinking about doing that, so we'll see. I guess I have to take each thing one thing at a time. I'll probably just set it up kind of the way it is now, really, most likely, for right now. And go through each thing one thing at a time. I also need to upgrade my machine that I'm making this video with to a newer version of Fedora. So there it is. That's my big orange flying D-Link router. Hopefully it'll be a good one. If I don't like the firmware at all, I can always change it to DDWRT, and if that works, then there's probably I haven't tried an open WRT. It seemed easier to find the firmware that would and find out what would go on your router with the DDWRT website. And I think they actually may have, they may support more routers than the mother project. So there's several others out there that that people like a lot, and I've read about it for years. But I never did. My biggest problem, number one, is that the router I wanted to put it on was always in the daisy chain, and it was being depended on every day for my internet. And then the other thing was that I'm not good at following all those complicated written instructions, and I was afraid I'd brick my router. But I did it to the Linksys and didn't hurt it. I did it right. So, and I made a bunch of videos on it. So now I'm feeling a lot better about doing that, and I know I've learned more. I need to do it while I remember it too. If I wait several months or a year, I'll forget again. But anyway, that's I think hopefully I think I'm probably going to like this router. that light is not super bright. It's kind of diffused looking, so it looks pretty bright there in the video, but actually when I look over at it, it doesn't bother me so much. So, and if it works well, I didn't do that. That'll be one of the next things I need to do, and I'll just do another video on that. I need to grab my mobile phone, one of my phones, one of these, instead of using it as a camera there, like say that one. I will put it in, actually I can do both, I think. How did I do that before? I set it up so that it had, I used TeamViewer remote desktop, remote phone top, and then I carried 2 of them, and walked around. That's how I tested, and I know for sure what the signal's like in there in the living room. I did a bunch of testing, and I did videos of it. So yeah, I need to go around the house and test this thing's signal. And I guess it doesn't. I was going to say I'd do it before I, put it in as the main router, but I don't think that matters. Well, yeah, I guess it could matter. If it's really lousy, then I might send it back. Because that's the main. The reason I've got a new router was because the Wi-Fi kept, not working well on the older one, on my TP-Link. And it doesn't say that it's not as powerful. I mean, it's an older router, it's not as powerful as these newer ones. So, yeah. So I need to test out my Wi-Fi signal strength. I may do that just with it set up like it is. Let's see. Yeah, I'm tired. It's 9:13 now. I'm not going to do it now. I'll do it on my next video. Test out my Wi-Fi strength, and I'll get set up so that I can, walk around the house and show it. Oh yeah, that's what I did. If I do a remote desktop to one phone and camera on the other, I was able to walk all around the house and show that in that video, and I didn't even have a problem. It didn't glitch, like you're seeing. I could do a split screen like this, one side with the Wi-Fi signal app in the window and the other one with the camera. So yeah, that's what I can do. And then I just use my phone 3. I have 3 of these phones as the audio Wi-Fi audio with my lapel mic. Okay, so yeah. Okay, well, it's done, and there's my new. That's the setting up. What I went experience setting up my new D-Link router, and okay, was not without any problems, but that wizard, I don't know. I mean, I didn't go back. Did I go back through it again? I can't even remember now. I don't know. I didn't want to go back through it again. I just went ahead and went into the admin pages. Okay. So you can do it, but you may have to forget the wizard and go into the regular admin pages. Of course, it puts you in the wizard to start with, so I guess you may as well try it. And then if it don't work, just get. Actually, after I had ran through it, I didn't. Once I hit close that wizard with the X, it put me back in just the normal pages of the router. And then I was able to get to everything. I just had to figure out what was what and where things were. So yeah, you can set it up with your, with Firefox in Linux. Of course, I'm on Linux. I'm not using Windows. So, and you do have different. Not only do you have different experiences in different web browsers because they're not all created exactly the same, and different versions, especially now with Firefox coming out with a completely rebuilt Firefox. So that's not the rebuilt one. That's the older version, as of a few days ago now. Then if you really use Chrome, it'd be, you have different functionality. It may work perfectly. You may have issues, or if you use Internet Explorer or whatever that new one is for Windows, it's all going to be different. So you just have to try it out and see. And then one thing I always try to do, I actually haven't done that on the. You notice I only had one other browser on the laptop. I need to put like Chromium or something on there. There's one called Vivaldi that's built on Chromium that's really lightweight. But Chromium's really lightweight until you put thousands of bookmarks in it. Then it won't run anymore on my quad core with 4 gig of RAM. It won't even run. So that's one thing I've noticed with all browsers. When you get a whole lot of bookmarks, it slows them down. So, but I love my bookmarks. But I didn't really have to have them. I don't use, I have Chromium and Vivaldi on my Fedora 23 system. And what I'm talking about right here, let's get off of that. I'll go ahead, open up Firefox so I can check my stream anyway. But this is, well, that's Firefox Developer, the blue one. That's Vivaldi. That's built on Chromium, which is the granddaddy, the mother, the father, everything of Chrome, the Google web browser. This is what it's built on. And it is really lightweight. It's not a resource hog like Chrome. Until I added all my Chrome, I did a sync with Chrome. All my, you know, everything, my passwords, my bookmarks, and it's some bookmarks I figured out over the years that causes the trouble. Let's see if Chrome. Yeah, it causes the trouble. But yeah, the new version of Firefox that just came out the other day, it's a lot lighter. It's not killing my machine like it was before. I'm looking at all my settings. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. And I didn't pay attention to how long that video was, but I'll do that later. And get me some supper and get ready for bed. I said I'll let myself go too long here. Okay. Bye-bye.